going to be discussing the truth. There are three undeniable truths in our life or in our existence. The first one is that knowledge and learning are completely different. They continue each other. Knowledge is the acquisition of information or the acquisition of a certain set of skills through experience. While learning is taking this knowledge and applying it and taking it a step further. Learning, on a daily basis, we learn. And on a daily basis, we are being exposed to a tremendous amount of information. I mean, even as you're sitting, you're holding your phone, you're on your Twitter, you're on your Facebook, you are learning. But here's the thing, your mind chooses the information that it will keep and retain, and it will get rid of the information that is kind of unnecessary. The information that you keep and you're going to retain, it's going to help you survive. It's going to help you exist. And this is where our third truth for today is that survival is for the fittest. Evolution has taught us time and time again that the strongest species which learns to adapt to its surrounding and environment is the species that will prevail and rule the earth. And I think we should give like a big round of applause to our ancestors for making it. Yes, 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 they came a very long way. Yes, I completely agree. And here's the thing, I mean, even on a subatomic level, scientists have been trying to prove how does matter survive. At the end of the day, we are all made of matter. Everything around you has matter in it. So how does matter survive? And this is what the scientists have been doing for the past 30 years in Switzerland. And they gave it a name. They call it the God particle. The God particle is very interesting. And this is due to what? It's, for an atom to exist, it needs to maintain its mass. And this mass is basically a set of characteristics of the atom itself. So we could say that without the God particle, the atom would cease to exist. And here's my question for the audience today. Do we as humans have a God particle within us? And my answer to that question would be yes, we do. And that God particle is our mind. And the most critical process that it does on a daily basis, which is learning. Your mind is constantly learning. I mean, whenever you see a person for the first time, you always ask yourself, I mean, what do I know about this person? I mean, you know, where is he from? Is he from Egypt? Is he from another country? You know, what is his background? You know, what did he have for breakfast this morning? I'm hungry, so here you go. But when you think of this, the first thing your brain does when you see this person is that it starts observing this person. And as it's observing, you start learning about this person. So you're gonna tell me, but Sherif, I go to school for 9 hours a day and I sit in a class and, you know, my teachers, they keep on talking about history and physics and math and different types of sciences or different types of classes. And this is what I'm going to tell you. You're not learning, you're being educated. And there is a difference between learning and education. Learning happens outside of the classroom itself. Yes, I mean, I always make fun of this because like, I learned so many equations when I was in school, and I never got the chance to use any of them and actually apply them. So yes, I am trolling math. But anyway, and even though like, I don't endorse the message that to leave school, because if you decide to leave school, I mean, I'm pretty sure Mrs. Magda's going to have my head on a spear. But, I would say that in order for you to learn, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to leave your bubble. Go outside, expose yourself, and explore what's around you. And here's the thing, our world today is becoming so much more interconnected and interlinked. I mean, it's ridiculous. You could be sitting on your couch at home, I don't know, watching Desperate Housewives, which is one of my favorite shows, by the way, I love it. And I could be sitting there watching Desperate Housewives, and as I'm sitting and I'm holding my phone, I'm actually watching the same episode as my best mate all the way in Melbourne, Australia. And we're actually discussing the episode together. And that's ridiculous. I mean, could you imagine something like this 30 years back? That would have been impossible. I mean, it would have been impossible, but it would have been very expensive. Because, you know, computers and, you know, Wi-Fi's on phone, that didn't exist back then. So here's the thing. I mean, on a constant basis, our world is teaching us. Every single day, we are being exposed to technology. And every single day, we are learning from this technology. And here's the thing, like this constant possibility of learning actually became a source of inspiration for me. The day I decided to quit my job and establish my company with Ashiri, or Sherif in that case, as you know him, I was able to discover that my delegates are a source of inspiration to me. And they gave me hope. They gave me a lot of hope. I mean, I was lucky enough over the past 2 years to deal with such bright, young minds who are so eager to learn that this talk was inspired by them. And I'm gonna talk on a very particular case. And it's Ahmed Assam. He's the one, yes, a round of applause. It's Ahmed Assam. He's a student here in the school. He's standing next to Ashiri on the left. Ahmed Assam came to me 2 years ago when we first started the program here at school. And it was 17 students. And I remember the first day I saw Ahmed Assam, and he was very quiet, he was very silent, sitting in the back of the room, not really interacting. So I went up to him and I told him, listen, I promise you one thing. By the time we finish this program, and it's a 12-session training program, you're going to be different, but I need you to help me. And he's like, okay, it's a deal. I'm like, perfect. So, as we developed in the program over 6 months, and we delivered this program, Ahmed Assam came to me by the end of the program, and he's like, thank you. And I do that with every single delegate of mine. I mean, pretty much you've noticed. Someone like Yara or Yusuf or Malak. And he came to me and he's like, thank you, Sherif. I'm like, for what? He's like, I can feel a difference. I'm like, perfect. You've learned something. And if you can feel that difference, then you need to build on it and continue working on it. And this is what he did. The year after, we sent a delegation to Rome to represent the school in an MUN conference. And when Ahmed sat in front of me during the interview before getting into Rome, he was actually he was the one who's conducting the interview. It wasn't me. I mean, he would ask me questions, and he would interview me in a sense. And Ahmed went to Rome, and the delegation did great. They did a great job. They represented the school so great, and I believe everyone should be proud, especially Ms. Shaymah. Ahmed came back to me, and I met him at school while I think I was delivering something else, and he was with his mom. And he came up to me, and he's like, "Thank you." So I did the same thing. It's the same thing again. I'm like, "For what?" Of course, I know what he's thanking me for, but, you know, kind of nice to always pick his brain. So he's like, "Thank you." I'm like, "For what, Ahmed?" He's like, "For giving me this experience, for giving me this exposure, for allowing me to get out of my comfort zone and get out of my bubble." And this is why I believe in what I'm doing so much, because my delegates are a source of inspiration to me. Whenever I hear someone who tells me something like this or who sends me a message, I mean, I believe in what I'm doing even more. So here's the fourth and final truth for today, which we should conclude from this talk. Individuals who step out of their comfort zones and step out of their bubbles, they will be able one day to become global citizens and live in a world where the world is becoming so interlinked and so connected that we consider our world to be a global village. And thus, it will allow them to survive. Thank you.